It's the official launch of the Know Your Foe series, talking about all of Wisconsin's upcoming football opponents. Here we go.
Welcome to the Bucky Report, your destination for all things Wisconsin Badgers. Authentic takes.
Oh my God.
Game analysis.
Touchdown Badgers! Ring one up!
And discussion from the fan perspective. Woo-hoo! Thanks for joining us and on Wisconsin.
Welcome to the Bucky Report. We are your hosts, Rajiv and Justin, back together for a midweek episode talking about upcoming football opponents. We are launching, Justin, the Know Your Foe series, something that we started last year. That was your idea, which is great. We're going to talk about all the opponents. So this episode is on a Wednesday. This is going to be recorded every week. And every single Wednesday, you're going to get a new episode leading all the way up to the football season. We are starting today with, of course, Miami of Ohio, our first opponent. We're going to go in sequential order all the way through to the kickoff of the season. The goal here is just to tell you about this school, right? Tell you about the team, returnees, losses, everything that we've learned about them so you can kind of get set up for this football season. We kick it off, Justin, with Miami of Ohio. First of all, what are your thoughts on kicking off the season on a Thursday? This is a Thursday night game, August 28th, 9 p.m. Eastern, I think that's right, or maybe Central. What are your thoughts on that? Do you like it?
I hate it. I'm going to be so irritated on Saturday when we don't have a game to watch and everyone else is like excited about it. It's like, oh, great. We got mine over on a Thursday when now I have to figure out how to plan my evening to make Thursday work. So, and not that it would be necessarily the end of the world, but also ends up being probably a game that's going to be on until what, 11:30.
Yeah, it's going to be late. It's going to be late. I actually like it because it's a game we should win. It's a game we hopefully will win, because if we don't, good Lord, that's going to be the worst reaction show on Locked On Badgers of all time. But it's honestly like, it kind of just sets you up for a calm Saturday, because you know your team already won. You can watch. Hopefully the Gophers just lay an egg and lose or something. So I'm okay with it, actually. But Thursday, August 28th, that's going to be Miami of Ohio. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about them. Last season, they were 9-5 overall, 7-1 in the MAC. They actually went to the MAC championship game and got walloped by Toledo, 38-3. They were actually started 1-4 last season. They rebounded with 7 straight wins to reach their conference title game. Their head coach is Chuck Martin, entering his 12th season at Miami of Ohio, the longest tenured MAC coach. From what I've read about Chuck, Justin, he's a very high floor type of a guy. This is one of these programs that they do what they need to do to win. They're not flashy. They recruit to a system, they develop within that system, and that's why they've been pretty consistent in the MAC. Let's talk about the roster before I turn over to you to give me your thoughts on them. Some of the key losses, this team basically got gutted from graduations to transfer portals. They lost virtually their entire offense. Their cornerback, Rayon Strader, freshman All-American, transferred to Auburn. That's their biggest loss. They also lost their running back, Rashad Amos, their edge rusher, Caden Woolard, and their wide receiver, Gage Lavardane, all transferred out. And their top 2 wide receivers actually left even before the bowl game. So that's not good. They lost a lot of players. Who they bring in? Wide receiver, Andre Johnson from Arizona State, running back, Dylan Downing from Purdue, the defensive lineman Savio Frazier from Mercer. But their big one really is they brought in 2 offensive linemen to strengthen the line to hopefully protect for Daquan Finn. Yes, that is a name you might remember as a Badger fan. We actually looked at him. But Daquan Finn from Toledo, he was actually the 2023 MAC MVP. So he is certainly... that's going to be the biggest thing we've got to deal with. He's a mobile quarterback. So if you look at the running backs they have and him, that could spell some issues for us. What are some of your early thoughts on Miami?
Yeah, my gut instinct is going to be that they're going to be a little bit more run heavy this season. Probably play more of a play action game, given the fact that you have Daquan Finn and not a lot of wide receiver talent that's really been stocked in that room. So I think that it's going to be a little bit more conservative, maybe. Maybe rely on him to show his mobility in the passing game a little bit more. But I don't necessarily think that this is going to be a super easy road for them, given the amount of reloading that they've had to do.
Now, I think Brett Gabbert, their quarterback, could be returning. I'm not sure if he's returning or not.
He's he's showing Miami Dolphins right now. So
okay, so he's gone then. So there you go. Vegas actually has them as an over and under of 8 wins, which I mean, look, they play in the MAC. I mean, so we're not talking about anything crazy with them, but they do. They're plus 225 in the actual books to win the MAC. But look, I mean, ultimately. They did lead the MAC in scoring defense last year, 17.3 points a game. But again, they lost a lot of players, across their team. The one thing they have going for them, Justin, is their coaching continuity. I mean, Chuck Martin's been there for a long time. He's built a good program. We don't tend to blow these teams out early in the season. If you look at the Buffalo game, like there's been time and time again, you have these issues where Wisconsin isn't crushing these teams, but we should. Do you feel like this has to just be a come out of the gates, get Billy Edwards going and firing and really trying to just to show what we can do? Or is it one of those things where you want to try to hold some things back because we've got Alabama coming in week 3? Like, what's your approach to this sort of first game of the season against lesser opponents?
I think they're going to be pretty balanced, to be honest. I think the biggest thing that I'm concerned with is defensively, can we just get them off the field? Because I think the way we should win this game comfortably, provided that we take care of business and shut them down on third down when we need to. I don't think that this is going to be a super explosive offense that we're going to see. Finn may change that a little bit. His mobility could be a problem. We definitely have to keep him controlled. And if we can do that, I think we'll be fine. He can make some big plays, but I also think he's not exactly an A-plus thrower, and that's where Wisconsin has some benefit there. Like, he's not a guy who's going to go out there and throw for 350 and just go off on us throwing the football, but he is good enough that if you can't keep him in the pocket and you let him run, he can burn you when he gets outside the pocket throwing the football. Honestly, I feel pretty good about it if they can control that. I think defensively I will be in a pretty good spot. And I think we have the athletes to be able to kind of keep him corralled to an extent. Offensively, I think we're going to run our offense. I don't expect us to come out and try to do anything crazy, but I also don't think it's going to be run the ball 47 times like we used to do under Chris. I think we're going to be 25 passes or whatever, and then probably like 35 runs.
Yeah, I mean, I firmly believe that with how relatively bad the last 2 years have been for this program, we need to pull no punches. Like, we need to lay it all out there. We don't really
be good for confidence.
Yeah. Exactly. And I know there's a school of thought of, leave things back, leave things behind. No, like, we need to go out there and crush this team. Like, the amount of turnover they had, even on their defense likely will still be the anchor of their team. They're pretty good, solid up front, but we should be able to run on them. We're going to learn a lot about our offensive line in this game, because obviously we're going to find out whether it's the Brunner kicking out to the guard or to the tackle, and whether it's Mandel or whatever is going to happen. But we're going to have to show that we're the dominant team. Again, Chuck Martin teams are pretty solid. Like, they are a solid MAC team year in and year out. They've of all the schools in the MAC, they rank near the bottom as far as returning production level, right? So that's the big thing, is they're losing a lot of their production, whereas some of the other MAC schools retain that. So that theoretically gives us a slight advantage and thinks, okay, well, maybe we can really dominate. But this is not going to be an easy game. Middle Tennessee the week after, that's going to be a bit easier. But it's about throwing down the gauntlet and showing the fans, showing NIL boosters, whoever is you got to show something on the field here. And the season is not made or broken by this game. It can be broken, certainly. It's not going to be made. But the more we can just show up and actually get confidence, because the following week is another conference builder, and then you're going to Alabama. And then the gauntlet of a schedule begins. We got Maryland after that, and then it goes crazy. But we've got to prove something. But ultimately, it's Billy Edwards and Jeff Grimes. That's what this game is about for me, because we will have been waiting months upon months to see what the Jeff Grimes system really is and how effective it can be. And can Billy Edwards take what he did at Maryland and translate that to Wisconsin. And I think that's the biggest thing about this opening kickoff game. And Thursday night under the lights in Madison, like, you've got the stage to go out there and actually lay it on the line and say, all right, like, let's do something. Let's kick this season off in style. And Miami's a team that can be had, Justin. Like, this is not one of those MAC teams that's really going to be battling with us. We should not be there. Now, Daquan Finn certainly brings a little bit of an element of difficulty for us. We don't necessarily do well with running quarterbacks. This has been proven, but we have more speed this year than we've had before. Are you confident in our defensive front to be able to thwart some of these running quarterbacks?
Yeah, I actually am. I think you have a couple of guys that you probably like and must have passing downs off the edge that can probably run with them. I think your middle linebackers, you're probably more comfortable than you normally are with being able to have guys that can track him down. Tackett and Allegro can absolutely chase him down. And with that, I think you feel pretty good about this. Honestly, this is a game where I want to see the defense come out and look dominant at times. You don't have to be perfect, but I want it to look like there's certain drives where they just don't look like they can do anything against us, because we used to be that way. And I'd like to see at least some hints that we can do it at times this year.
Yeah. Tackles for loss, disruptive plays, turnovers, sacks, burying Finn and whoever, like, the running backs are, like, that's what we really need to see. Yeah. All right, so what we're going to do every week with this Know Your Foe thing, and as we get into the bigger teams, we're going to talk much more about all the pieces that are coming in and out. The first two aren't quite the sexiest of the opponents. But what we are going to do, and we've done this before, Justin, we've talked about our confidence kind of rankings going into every game, but we're going to kind of do that again as we preview each of these teams. What is your confidence in our ability to win this game? Simple as that, out of 100%.
Probably 95%.
Yeah,
I mean, it has to be good that we're just going to be able to physically dominate them.
If it's not, we've got real problems. We've got real problems on this team. But yeah, I mean, I honestly, I would. It's not 100% because you can never be 100%, but I would agree 95%, 90 to 95. If you said, okay, let me ask you this: what's your confidence level that we can blow this team out and we win by 25 points? What is it? What does it put you there?
Probably 70%.
Okay.
I feel like the offense is going to surprise us this year a little bit. This is a game I could see us dropping 40, and maybe I'm going to be way off on that. Maybe we'll end up scoring 24 and win like 24-10, and I'll be frustrated that we just don't look sharp. But I think that we're really going to be able to run the football this year, and I honestly think the passing game, like, this is a game where a guy like Ballard and Vinny, I have a chance to absolutely make it be a big time problem for a team like Miami of Ohio. Like, that level of speed, they're not used to seeing.
Yeah. I mean, for me, 25, I would say like 60%, because I do think it's going to be a little bit difficult, but there are a lot of concerns that this team has. I mean, as far as like their ability to play against us. Again, their wide receiver room has been completely wiped out, so they've got a whole new wide receiving core. So that's one of the storylines, and it's our storyline for us too.
Quarterback.
Right. Well, certainly the new quarterback, but also our storyline of, if Forkern isn't back, we've got Hallman on one side. Who's the other starting? Is it going to be Latimer? Is it Hill? Is it,
Agard? Hill or Agard, I would guess.
Yeah. So, and that's going to be interesting because certainly they don't have a lot of that wide receiver depth they had last year. One of the reasons that they were so good last year in the MAC is because of their star wide receivers, which they do not have. Mm-hmm. And of course, every year we talk about the transfers that we have and that we had to fill in to the roster. Miami's got a lot more. So can they all fill in? The one thing they have going for them, again, is Chuck Martin. 12 years, very, very consistent MAC coach. It's not going to be the easiest of the games, but it's certainly not going to be anywhere near the hardest. It should be an automatic lock for the Badgers. That is your Know Your Foe, Miami, and we will be back again next week to talk about Middle Tennessee State. With that, on Wisconsin.
On Wisconsin.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoy the show, subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Bucky Report or The Bucky Report Podcast from wherever you get your content. Until next time, on Wisconsin.